The one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because the depth of their emotions makes them unsure of themselves. When someone doesn't really care, they can act freely without hesitation, without second guessing what they say or do. But when someone carries you in the deepest part of their heart, they become cautious. They question themselves. Did I say too much? Did I come on too strong? Did I give enough? Am I showing too little? That constant self-doubt pushes them to retreat at times, to pull back into silence, to create space so they don't risk drowning you in the flood of what they feel. To you, it feels like ignoring. To them, it feels like protecting the very love that consumes them. The one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because love is overwhelming. It is not a small emotion. It doesn't just live in the corners of the heart. It takes up the whole room. It colors the way they see life. It changes the rhythm of their days. It shapes the future they imagine. And carrying that much intensity all the time is exhausting. Sometimes they go quiet not because they want to distance themselves, but because they are trying to breathe under the weight of their own affection. They have to learn how to live with the intensity of their feelings, and silence becomes the pause that helps them manage what their heart is screaming every second. The one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because they trust the bond. When someone is unsure about you, they put in constant effort to keep your attention, prove themselves to make sure you don't drift away. But when someone loves you deeply and believes in the connection you share, they are not afraid of silence. They are not afraid of space. They know that what you share can handle it. They know that even if they don't reach out every hour, the bond is still alive. The love is still present. It's not ignoring to them. It's security. They trust you enough to believe you won't misinterpret their silence. They trust that the foundation you've built is stronger than the temporary absence of words. The one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because sometimes their love has left scars on them. Maybe they've loved deeply before and been hurt. Maybe they've given their all to someone who couldn't handle it. Maybe they've poured themselves out only to be left empty. And now, when they love you, the weight of those old wounds makes them hesitant. They pull back, they go silent, they test the waters. They want to give you everything, but fear tells them to hold back. They want to run to you, but the memory of rejection teaches them to pause. Their ignoring is not about you. It is about the echoes of what they've survived. It's about trying to balance the desire to give all with the fear of losing all. The one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because their love is not about performance. They don't love you to be seen by others. They don't love you to impress. They don't love you to check a box of constant attention. They love you in a way that is deeper than performance. It's not about constant gestures. It's not about always being in your presence. It's about the quiet ways they carry you when nobody is watching. It's about the sacrifices they make that you may never even know about. And those kinds of love are often misinterpreted as absence. But the truth is, ignoring is sometimes the surface layer of a much deeper reality. The stillness above the water hides the movement underneath. The one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because sometimes love feels safer from a distance. When they are near you, they feel exposed. They feel like you can see into their soul, into their flaws, into the parts of themselves they've hidden from everyone else. And so, to protect themselves, they create distance. They ignore, they step back, they retreat. Not because you don't matter, but because you matter so much that they feel vulnerable in your presence. And vulnerability is terrifying. Vulnerability means they could lose everything if you decided to walk away. So ignoring you becomes their shield, even though behind that shield, their love burns stronger than ever. The one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because love teaches restraint. Love is not about constant taking. It is about giving and holding back, knowing when to step forward and when to step aside. If they were always present, always demanding your attention, always in your space, then you would never have the room to be yourself. They ignore you because they want you to have freedom, because they want you to have your own rhythm, because they understand that love thrives not in control but in release. To love someone deeply is to sometimes let them be without you to trust that your presence is still felt even when you are not physically there. The one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because love does not need validation in every moment. It doesn't need to constantly announce itself. When someone truly loves you, they don't have to prove it every day through words or attention. Their love exists beyond proof, beyond performance, beyond reassurance. It is there whether they text you good morning or not. It is there whether they call you every night or not. It is there in the way they think of you when they wake, the way they whisper your name in their prayers, the way they plan their future with you, even when they haven't spoken to you all day. That kind of love doesn't shout, it hums quietly, steadily like a song you can't get out of your head. The one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because they are trying to grow with you, not just for you. Love requires self-work. And when someone loves you deeply, they don't want to show up broken. They don't want to weigh you down with their insecurities, their flaws, their unfinished healing. So sometimes they ignore you because they are working on themselves, because they want to be better for you, because they want to stand beside you whole, not half-formed. Their silence is their effort. Their distance is their labor. They may not say it, but in their ignoring, they are building a version of themselves worthy of the love they feel for you. The one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because love is a paradox. It is closeness and distance. It is fire and water. It is presence and absence. It is a rhythm, not a constant note. And that rhythm requires pauses. It requires silence. It requires space. Just as music needs rests between notes to create melody, love needs moments of ignoring to create balance. If someone was always in your face, always demanding your attention, always flooding your life, it would not feel like love. It would feel like suffocation. The pauses make the present sweeter. The silence makes the words louder. The absence makes the return more beautiful. The one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because they don't always know how to express it. Not everyone has the language for love. Not everyone was taught how to communicate affection, how to balance attention, how to nurture with presence. Some people love in clumsy ways, in silent ways, in awkward pauses, and to you, it feels like being ignored. But to them, it is the only way they know how to love. They are trying even when it looks like they are not. They are present even when they are silent. They are choosing you even when they appear distant. The one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because their love lives in the long term, not the short term. They are not concerned about winning every daily battle of attention. They are not obsessed with proving their affection in every moment. They are building something bigger, something beyond the day to day. Their love looks at years, not hours. And because of that, they sometimes ignore you in the moment, trusting that the long-term picture speaks louder than temporary silence. They see the horizon, and they are walking toward it with you, even when their footsteps are too quiet for you to hear right now. The one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because love is complex. It is never just one thing. It is a mixture of fear and joy, passion and restraint, closeness and distance. To demand that love always looks like attention is to misunderstand it. Sometimes love looks like silence. Sometimes love looks like space. Sometimes love looks like being ignored. But beneath that silence, that space, that ignoring is a truth that does not waver. You matter more to them than words can say, more than presence can prove, more than actions can display. The one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because they are terrified of losing control. Love is one of the few emotions that strips away our defenses, dismantles pride, it weakens the armor we have built around ourselves, and it leaves us vulnerable in ways that frighten us. When someone loves you deeply, that vulnerability makes them cautious. It pushes them into retreat, into silence, into distance, because to expose themselves too much feels like risking everything. They ignore you not out of indifference, but out of fear that if they show too much of what they feel, they will give you the power to break them completely. And so they pull back, trying to guard their heart, even though that very act of ignoring you is proof of how much power you hold in their life. The one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because emotions are not always easy to translate into words or actions. They might feel overwhelmed by the enormity of what they feel for you. Every glance, every memory, every possibility tied to you swells within them. And instead of letting it out imperfectly, instead of fumbling their way through clumsy expression, they go quiet. Silence becomes their language. Ignoring becomes their shield. They hope you will understand that behind the lack of words is a flood of emotions they cannot yet control. And often, the ones who love us the most are the ones who struggle the most to articulate it because language feels too small for what they carry. The one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because their world has been altered by your presence. Before you, they may have moved through life simply, easily, without overthinking. But now, with you, every decision feels heavier, every step feels more meaningful. They hesitate not because they are careless, but because they know you changed everything. Their silence is not laziness, it is reverence. It is them taking seriously what you mean to them. And sometimes that seriousness looks like ignoring, but in truth it is them grappling with the reality that their life now has someone they cannot afford to lose. The one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because they are fighting battles inside themselves that you may never see. Love does not erase personal struggles. It does not magically heal wounds or silence insecurities. Sometimes the one who loves you is also the one who is fighting depression or battling fears or carrying scars from the past. Their ignoring you is not rejection, it is survival. It is them trying to handle their own storms without dragging you into them. It is them withdrawing because they fear their chaos will hurt you if they let you too close. They love you enough to protect you from their darkness, even if it means you misunderstand their silence. The one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because love magnifies flaws. When someone doesn't matter to us, we are unconcerned about how we appear in their eyes. But when we love deeply, suddenly every flaw feels exposed, every mistake feels bigger, every imperfection feels unbearable. They may ignore you because they fear that if they stay too close, you will see too much, that you will notice the cracks in them they try to hide. And yet, ironically, you probably love them not despite their flaws, but through them. But the one who loves you cannot always see that. They carry their insecurities like a weight, and ignoring you becomes their way of controlling how much of their imperfection you witness. The one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because their heart is louder than their actions. Love is not always visible. It is not always measured by texts, calls, or constant interaction. It is often measured in thought, in intention, in the quiet way someone keeps you in their prayers, in the way they rearrange their future silently to make space for you in it. They may ignore you outwardly, but inwardly you are with them all the time. In their mind, you walk with them through their day. In their dreams, you are the constant presence. In their private world, you are always there, even when in the visible world they seem absent. The one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because love is not convenient. It disrupts routines. It challenges priorities. It forces people to rethink who they are and who they want to become. When love enters someone's life in a real way, it shakes everything. And in that shaking, they sometimes step back, sometimes retreat, sometimes go quiet, trying to put the pieces of their identity back together with you in it. Ignoring you is not about neglect. It is about recalibration. It is about learning how to carry this new weight of love without dropping other pieces of themselves. The one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because love teaches sacrifice. To love deeply is to sometimes hold back your own desires for the sake of the other person. They may want to call, they may want to be near you every second, but they ignore that urge because they know you need your space. They know you have your responsibilities. They know life cannot always revolve around them. Their ignoring is a form of discipline, a quiet sacrifice of their need for closeness so that you can have room to breathe. They choose distance at times because they want you to have freedom, because they know that love suffocates when it clings too tightly. The one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because love is not always easy. It is messy, complicated, full of contradictions. One moment it drives them to want to be with you endlessly, and the next it overwhelms them with fear, causing them to pull away. They are caught in the paradox of needing you desperately, but also fearing the power you hold over them. Ignoring you becomes the only way they know how to balance that paradox. It is not a lack of care. It is the complexity of care. It is the difficulty of handling a love so strong it feels dangerous. The one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because they believe that love should be tested. They want to see if what you share can withstand silence, if it can survive distance, if it can endure moments of absence. Not because they want to hurt you, the same volume, but because they want to know that this love is not fragile. They want to trust that you will not vanish the moment they step back. They want to believe that your bond is stronger than the noise of constant interaction. Their ignoring becomes their way of measuring the strength of what you share, their way of proving to themselves that this love is built on more than surface level attention. The one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because sometimes their love is bigger than what they can handle. They feel it swelling in their chest. They feel it overwhelming their thoughts. They feel it pressing into every corner of their life. And in that immensity, they panic. They retreat. They go silent because they don't know what else to do with something so vast. Ignoring you is their way of catching their breath, of finding their balance, of learning how to stand steady under the weight of emotions that threaten to consume them entirely. The one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because they need you to know them fully, not just the version of themselves they put on display. They know that if they were always present, always performing affection, always proving their love, then you would never see the raw parts of them. By pulling back, by ignoring, they reveal a different side, a side that is quiet, flawed, uncertain. And if you can love them even then, if you can love them in their silence, in their distance, in their absence, then you love them truly. Ignoring you is not about pushing you away. It is about showing you the unpolished truth of who they are, testing if your love is strong enough to withstand it. The one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because deep love makes people retreat into themselves. They need solitude to process it, to understand it, to learn how to live with it. They may spend hours thinking about you, reflecting on what you mean to them, planning futures they cannot yet speak aloud. And in that internal world, they appear to ignore you. But the truth is their silence is full of you. Their solitude is crowded with thoughts of you. Their ignoring is not emptiness, but fullness, a fullness of love so overwhelming it cannot always be expressed in real time. The one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because they know that distance can create desire. They know that absence makes the heart grow fonder. They understand that being constantly present can dull appreciation, can make love feel ordinary. And so they allow silence. They allow distance. They allow moments of ignoring, trusting that when they return, the love will feel new again, that your appreciation for them will deepen, that the bond will be strengthened by the ebb and flow of presence and absence. Their ignoring is not rejection. It is rhythm. It is the natural cadence of love that knows how to balance closeness with space. The one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because sometimes love is silent prayer. It is them whispering your name when they are alone. It is them asking for your protection when you're not around. It is them hoping for your happiness even when you don't see them. That kind of love doesn't always show itself in visible attention. It hides in the unseen moments, in the quiet sacrifices, in the spaces between words. Ignoring you on the outside may mean loving you more fiercely on the inside. The one who loves you a lot ignores you a lot because real love does not seek to control. It does not seek to dominate your time or your attention. It gives room. It trusts, it believes. And sometimes that trust feels like ignoring, but in truth it is freedom. Freedom for you to be yourself. Freedom for you to live your life. Freedom for the bond you share to grow naturally rather than under pressure. Love that ignores is often love that trusts. Love that steps back is often love that believes. Love that goes quiet is often love that speaks the loudest in ways you cannot hear but can always feel.